The spirit trapped inside the mirror. In the oldest part of the town, where narrow streets twisted like veins and sunlight rarely touched the ground, stood a forgotten house. Its walls were cracked, its doors swollen with age, and its windows permanently sealed with dust. People passed it every day, yet no one dared to look inside for long. The house was known by only one name, the Mirror House. No one remembered who built it. No one remembered who lived there last. But everyone knew one thing. A spirit was trapped inside a mirror in that house. The mirror. The mirror hung in the master bedroom on the second floor. It was tall, framed with blackened wood carved with symbols no one could read anymore. The glass itself was unusually clear, untouched by time. Even after decades of neglect, it reflected perfectly, too perfectly. Old villagers said the mirror did not show your face as it was. It showed what was buried inside you. Some claimed they saw shadows behind their reflections. Others swore the reflection smiled when they did not. Those who looked into it for too long were never the same again. The legend? Long ago, a woman named Zara lived in that house. She was known for her beauty, but more than that, she was known for her obsession with mirrors. She believed mirrors were not just glass, they were doors between worlds. Zara practiced forbidden rituals, whispered spells at midnight, and spent hours staring at her reflection. She believed that if death ever came for her, she could trap her soul inside the mirror and live forever. One Amavasya night, when the moon completely vanished from the sky, neighbors heard screams coming from the house. Not human screams, but something broken, distorted. By morning, Zara was gone. Only the mirror remained. The new visitor. Years later, a young man named Adam, a documentary creator obsessed with haunted places, discovered the house. He didn't believe in spirits. Fear to him was just a story to sell. With a camera in one hand and a flashlight in the other, Adam entered the house alone. The air inside was cold, unnaturally cold. His breath fogged as he climbed the stairs. When he entered the bedroom, his light fell upon the mirror. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Adam saw his reflection blink. Even though he hadn't. He laughed nervously. "Just my imagination," he whispered. But the reflection did not laugh back. The first sign. That night, Adam reviewed his footage at home. Everything looked normal, until the camera angle shifted toward the mirror. Behind Adam's reflection, there was a woman standing. Her face was pale, her eyes black like empty wells. Her lips moved silently, forming words the microphone never captured. Adam paused the video, his heart pounding. The woman slowly raised her hand and pressed it against the glass from the inside. The whispering begins. From that night on, Adam began hearing whispers, not in his ears, inside his head. "Free me. Look at me. You promised." Every reflective surface became dangerous. Mirrors, windows, even the dark screen of his phone. Sometimes, when he glanced at them, he saw her eyes staring back. Sleep abandoned him. His reflection grew thinner, darker, as if something was draining him. The truth revealed. Desperate, Adam returned to the house to destroy the mirror. As he stood before it, the room filled with cold wind. The glass rippled like water. The woman appeared fully now. "I am Zara," she said, her voice echoing from everywhere and nowhere. "I trapped my soul to escape death, but a soul cannot exist alone." Adam stepped back. "What do you want from me?" She smiled, a smile that cracked her face like broken porcelain. "A replacement." The trap. The mirror began pulling him closer. Adam felt his body growing heavier, his reflection sharper than reality. His hands touched the glass and passed through it. Inside the mirror world, everything was silent, colorless, endless. Adam screamed, but no sound came out. Zara stepped out of the mirror into the real world, her form becoming solid for the first time in decades. She inhaled deeply, feeling air fill her lungs. Behind her, Adam's reflection banged silently on the glass. Now he was the one trapped. The aftermath. The next day, the house was empty again. The mirror still hung on the wall, and if you look closely into it, you might see a young man inside, eyes wide with terror, silently begging for help. Because the mirror is never empty. It only waits for the next soul to look too long. The spirit trapped inside the mirror. Part 2, the reflection that breathes. Adam did not feel pain when he was pulled into the mirror. What he felt was silence, a thick, endless silence that pressed against his ears until he wanted to scream, yet no sound came out. He stood inside a world made of glass and shadow. The floor beneath him reflected a sky that didn't exist, and the air felt cold, lifeless, wrong. On the other side of the mirror, Zara was free. For the first time in decades, she felt her feet touch solid ground. She laughed softly, running her fingers over the dusty furniture of the old house as if greeting an old friend. "I told you," she whispered to the mirror. "A soul cannot live alone." Inside the glass, Adam banged his fists against the invisible barrier. His hands left ripples like drops falling into water. But the mirror did not break. It only watched life inside the mirror. Time did not move normally inside the mirror. Minutes felt like hours. Hours felt like years. Adam noticed something horrifying. His reflection no longer copied his movements perfectly. Sometimes it lagged. Sometimes it smiled when he was crying. Sometimes it whispered his thoughts before he could think them. The mirror was learning him. And worse, it was feeding on him. Every memory he had began to fade. His childhood home, his parents' faces, even his own voice sounded unfamiliar inside his head. Meanwhile, Zara was changing. Years among the living. At first, Zara struggled to blend into the world. Lights felt too bright. Sounds were too loud. But each day she grew stronger. She found Adam's camera equipment still inside the house. Smiling, she took it. That night, a new video appeared on Adam's channel. The title read, "The Mirror Was Real." The video showed Zara standing in front of the mirror. Her face calm, her eyes human enough to fool anyone. "Do not fear the mirror," she said gently. Fear being forgotten. The video went viral. Thousands of people watched. Thousands of people stared into their screens. And thousands of reflections stared back. The cracks begin. Inside the mirror, Adam felt something shift. With every view, every comment, every person who watched the video late at night with their lights off, the mirror world grew larger. New shadows appeared, faint outlines of other faces pressed against distant glass walls. He was no longer alone. They watched. A voice whispered beside him. Adam turned. A man stood there, transparent, broken. "She took me in 1989, the man said. "Before me there were others." Adam realized the truth too late. The mirror was not a prison for one soul. It was a collection, or the price of freedom. Zara returned to the house one night, standing before the mirror again. Her reflection looked wrong, older, hungrier. "You're fading," Adam said from inside the glass. His voice finally breaking through. Zara's smile trembled. "The living world rejects us," she admitted. "It always does." The mirror began to crack, not outward, but inward. Zara understood then. Her freedom was temporary. She needed another exchange. Another soul. Ooh, the final recording. Zara set up the camera one last time. "This mirror is cursed," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I couldn't escape it alone." Her performance was perfect. Sympathy flooded the comments. That night, a curious viewer, alone, exhausted, staring too long at the screen, felt their reflection move. Inside the mirror, Adam felt a scream tear through the glass. A new soul arrived. The mirror sealed itself again. Zara exhaled in relief as her reflection stabilized. Adam fell to his knees. Now he understood the cruelest truth of all. The mirror never frees anyone. It only replaces them. And somewhere, in a dark room, another person was already staring too long. The spirit trapped inside the mirror. Part 3. The mirror never breaks. The mirror was alive now. It no longer waited silently in the dark house. It lived in screens and glass, in every polished surface that reflected a human face. Every time someone watched the video, the mirror grew stronger, its world expanding like a spreading infection. Inside, Adam felt it breathing. The walls pulsed faintly, as if the mirror had a heartbeat. Faces pressed against the glass from all sides. Men. Women, children, some screaming. Some smiling, some completely empty. None of them aged. None of them died. They only remained. Adam's last hope. Among the trapped souls, Adam discovered something impossible. An old crack, not in the mirror, but in the rules. Every soul inside the mirror still cast a reflection. And reflections, Adam realized, could lie. If he could change how the mirror saw him. If he could become someone else. Maybe he could escape. Using the last fragments of his memory, Adam began reshaping his reflection. He imagined a face that wasn't his, a voice that didn't belong to him. Slowly, painfully, his reflection stopped matching his body. The mirror hesitated. For the first time, it did not know who he was. Zara's fear. Outside, Zara screamed. Her reflection flickered violently. Cracks crawled across the glass like veins. She stumbled back, clutching her head. "What are you doing?" she yelled at the mirror. Inside, Adam stood tall. "I learned," he said calmly. "You don't trap people. You trap identities." The mirror shook. Zara watched in horror as her own reflection reached out, not toward her, but toward Adam. The final exchange. The mirror made its choice. With a sound like shattering bones, the glass split open. Adam was thrown forward, and Zara was pulled back. She screamed, clawing at the frame, begging, promising, lying. Too late. The mirror sealed itself again. Adam collapsed onto the dusty floor of the house, gasping for air, alive. Behind him, inside the mirror, Zara's face twisted with rage as she was dragged into the endless glass world. Adam had won, or so he thought. The last twist. Weeks later, Adam tried to warn the world. He deleted the videos, destroyed the equipment, covered every mirror in his house. But something was wrong. People avoided him. Children cried when they saw him. Animals hissed at his reflection. One night, Adam stood before a mirror, just for a moment. The reflection blinked. Not because Adam did, but because it chose to. He leaned closer. The reflection smiled and spoke in Zara's voice. "You escaped the mirror, but you never left it," Adam screamed as the reflection stepped forward. Not out of the glass, but into him. The ending? The next morning, the house was quiet. The mirror hung perfectly intact. Inside it, Adam stood frozen, eyes wide, mouth open in a silent scream. Outside, Zara, wearing Adam's face, picked up the camera and pressed record. "Hello," she said softly. "Let me tell you a story." And somewhere, someone watched. And somewhere, a reflection moved first. Because the mirror never breaks.